buddy. I just wanted to take a second to come online and sort of just get a life update. So, first of all, yes, my hair is blue. My friend's daughter, she's like a niece to me. She's like, I want to dye your hair. So we picked blue. And I like the color. Uh, I've had my hair blue before, but this particular like shocking blue that I have, people seem to really like. It's a good thing I'm a writer, right? Is if I have an office job, I don't know if this would go over really well. Uh, it's kind of funny. So, I just wanted to give a brief update because I haven't done a live in a while in regards to my writing. So I was living in Los Angeles, California, Pasadena to be exact, and the film industry was getting kind of tough because there wasn't a lot of getting fired from, and and I've been working at my career for a really long time now, and I've been at this for like 20 years. Trying to like I've been a script supervisor for 20 years working in the film industry, but I've been doing what I can to sort of and write scripts, sell scripts, direct, all that kind of stuff. And it's a tough industry, and I'm just one person of many trying to do it. And I've had so many close calls where I've gotten really close, where I've almost optioned a script. I almost had two Christmas movies that I wrote with my writing partner sold. I even wrote a script with an Emmy winner, a daytime Emmy winner, who wrote Friday the 13th, the like largest horror franchise. Like, I did. I wrote something that was produced by Blumhouse, that was on YouTube, produced by Google. It starred The Rock. Like, I have all these things that happen, and yet somehow I still feel like I struggle every day to get myself noticed in this industry. I, I write scripts that people like, but I just can't, like, people want to see my stuff, and I'll send them the movies that I directed, or I'll send them the scripts that I wrote, and they just don't respond. And they're people that I work with on set as a script supervisor. So, um, it is definitely quite maddening. And um, after my mom died in 2023, it got like crazy, like, which is going on with like everything with my family. And then my dad moved away closer to my sister and the kids. And so, and I had a nephew that was sort of in and out of rehab. And so it got really lonely in Los Angeles. And like my family wasn't there, and I don't have any friends because it's sort of a lonely city. And then I don't have a significant other. And it just sort of like, I felt alone. And then I sort of felt like I was like a wandering ship that was just sort of like going nowhere. And then at the end of last year, like I said, I was part of this huge commercial that just kind of got pushed out from underneath me. And it was just like I just felt like every step I took was getting me nowhere. And I just felt like I was going backwards faster than I was going forwards. And I'm 50. Like I just turned 51. And I was just getting older, and this is we're a country that just really more reveres younger people. And so I started to get in a really dark place. And I'm only doing this live because I wanted to talk about this because I don't talk about this enough. I don't talk about the dark place that I was in, and I think it's time that I do because I need to own it. I've talked about it in cursory and passing that I told people I go, it's either I jump in front of a bus or I come out here. But the truth is there's sort of truth in joking, and that is the truth. Like after I got the really big commercial, and that was just crew. Like it wasn't like I was writing the commercials. It wasn't like I was directing the commercials. This was just crew, which is what I used to pay my bills. And this was supposed to be a union commercial. It was supposed to give me health benefits. It was really good money, and it would have carried me through the holidays. And it was just for because of life is like that. It just was pulled out from underneath me, and it just put me because I was just like, God, what else could fucking possibly happen? And I remember just like walking down the street, and there was a bus coming, and I was like, I could just walk in front of this bus and not have to deal with the bullshit of this industry anymore. I spent the last 20 years trying to do something with my life, And I my mother for years was not happy about me going in the film industry. She had her own preconceived notions for it. But I just felt like I spent the last 20 years not succeeding and just proving her right. And she never got to see me succeed. Now, I did have a play produced, which she did see, and I directed a few short films, some I've written, but um, I just feel like she's never had none of my films ever had the opportunity to see. And I did really great in my photography. Like I was published in tons of magazines, but I don't know. I haven't had my break yet, my big break. And when last year happened, I was just like, I just don't I just don't want to do anymore. I didn't want to wake up anymore. I couldn't sleep because I was stressed out, but I also didn't want to wake up. I didn't want to go to bed. It was just nothing was making me happy. I was crying all the time. And I was like, I just don't care. Actually kind of still don't care, but um, I moved out here to Phoenix because I needed to not be around that. Like I still work in film. I go out to LA to work. But I decided my goals for 2026 was really to focus on writing more. I needed to focus on my writing because I wrote a book at the end of last year, and I'm really excited about it. But it's very hard to stay motivated because I just feel like I can't succeed in anything, and I'm so afraid of like spending all this time trying to write a book and then just having one more thing that won't succeed. Um, that's a terrible way to think. It really is, but the truth is, it's like there is not one thing right now in my life that seems to be going right, except that I moved to Phoenix and I seem to be a little happy here. I have a better support system here, but yeah, it just doesn't seem like there's anything in my life that feels like it's going in the right direction. And um, even though I'm in a much better place here, I still have days where I just wake up and I'm just like, what am I even trying for? Like I want to try, but then I feel like it's not worth the hassle to try. Yeah, I should just walk away. And then my manager calls me and tells me that things could be happening. But until it actually does, I don't want to get excited because I don't want to get my heart broken again. So but I wanted to do this live because I wanted to give an update. But I also wanted to do this live because I think I need to be honest with myself and how I felt because I really was in a dark place. And I don't think people understand. Like I say it in a sort of joking manner, but um, I did try to kill myself once when I was younger, and I promised my friend I would never do it again. And this was the closest I got to almost doing it again because I was actually terrified because it just feels like I try and try and try. And it's like I've worked with so many actors and people in this industry that started out at the same time as me, and they're already like they're doing bigger, better things. Um, like I worked with like Randall Park on one of his first movies. I worked with like Harvey Guillen on one of his first movies, and these people are blowing up, and I'm still out here struggling to survive. And I get it, like crew is not as important as actors, but it's like it doesn't mean it doesn't make it any harder, for all of us. 'Cause I work my fucking ass off, and I've worked long hours, and I go from job to job to job, and I sadly didn't take enough time to cultivate any relationships, and that's my fault. But LA is a very lonely place. And I just don't wanna be another casualty of spending the rest of my life going towards a goal that I'm never gonna make. But at the end of 2025, I was just like, "I cannot afford to follow this dream anymore." And that was what made me decide to pack up and come to Phoenix. I am staying with some friends out here, and they've been amazingly supportive and so good to me. And I'm so glad to have them around because I'm actually surrounded by people right now that actually wanna hang out with me. I'm actually not used to that because I travel the world by myself just because I love traveling. And people are always like, "Why do you travel by yourself?" And I said, "Well, because I love going and I don't mind being by myself because I do spend a lot of my time alone." That's probably sounds more sad than it should be, but it is actually the truth. So, anyways, I just needed to let you know that, like, I'm out here. I'm working every day. I'll probably never give up, but I did have to take a break from LA. And like I said, I still work in film. I still go out there all the time. But then when I'm done, I come back and just live like a normal life. And I think that's what I needed right now. And like I said, I want to focus on my writing because it was scary. But now it's a Lunar New Year, and I'm hoping that this will be my year. Knock on wood. Um, Heaven or universe, if you're listening, I'm open to receiving. I am probably since 2023 have probably been at my rock bottom. I really hope it gets better from here.